Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome to the Love 500 how-to series. Today we are going to show you how to update your Blue and Me. If your Blue and Me is playing up, if you've got flashing mileage, we're going to talk about that first, but today's video is primarily about how to update your Blue and Me. So let's go. Okay, so Blue and Me, when it works fine, but unfortunately, as many of you out there in Fiat land know, it can be temperamental. It can just stop working altogether. So the symptoms of it stopping working and why it stops working: flashing mileage. If your mileage is flashing, the reason your mileage is flashing, it's not always to do with the Blue and Me, but more often than not it is. So the flashing mileage means that your main body computer, the BCM, body control module, which on a UK car and on a UK car it's passenger side, it's behind it's the other fuse box basically that's down in the passenger footwell. On a left-hand drive car, US or European, it will be on the driver's side obviously, but in the same place. That's the body control module. So that body control module connects to all of the other computers in the car: the engine ECU, the parking sensors ECU, the airbag ECU, you name it. Every electronic system in the car has got an ECU. There are quite a few ECUs in this car, and the troublesome one is the Blue and Me. Now the Blue and Me is located in that panel there, where you can see where I'm pointing, in the back panel. So the left hand side, UK passenger side, rear panel. So to get to that, you have to take off all sorts of bits of plastic and what have you. If you want to know how to do that, I will put the link above, wherever it is. I will put the link above. If you just need to know how to get to that, click on that link. Also, if you want to, we're going to be talking about proxy alignments as well. If you want to see how to do a proxy alignment, I'm not going to explain it in this video. Again, I will put a link up at the top, and you can go directly to that link. Or what I'll do is at the end of this video, I shall put the links directly at the end as well, so you can watch this one first and then go to it. So flashing mileage, the mileage will flash to say that one of your computers, one of your ECUs has disconnected from the main computer. Now that's not to say that it's disconnected and not immediately reconnected. There can be all sorts of reasons as to why that is, but that flashing mileage just means it's been disconnected. So what you need to do is go through a process for proxy alignment, which will then realign those systems together. And as far as the Blue and Me is concerned, sometimes you're disconnecting the battery earth terminal for 10 minutes will just power everything down and will cause a reset, which will just work. And that has worked. That when I've suggested that to people, they've tried it, they've come back to me and said, "Oh, thank you, it's worked, fantastic." So it does work sometimes. The next thing to do is a proxy alignment. So click on the link. A proxy alignment will realign all the computers together, and then it may start working. If it doesn't start working, so to do a proxy alignment, you need MultiECUScan, which costs €50 to download it, and you need a set of cables from eBay, which will cost you £15–20. You only actually need a yellow cable to do this. But again, click on the link and you can see how to do a proxy alignment. So if the proxy alignment doesn't work, and if diagnostics on MultiECUScan tell you that it can't find the Blue and Me, then your Blue and Me is broken. And the only thing you can do is put a completely different head unit in and disconnect your Blue and Me, or you replace the Blue and Me. Now there are two versions of the Blue and Me. Blue and Me version 1, Blue and Me version 2. So cars up to about, I think, around the 2011 mark was version 1, and then after that was version 2. Although they've got different serial numbers, you don't need to match serial numbers as long as you've got version 1 or version 2. So if you've got a 2014 car, for the sake of argument, it's safe to say it's a version 2. If you're not sure, doing this update will tell you what version it is, and I'll show you how you do that later on in the video. You need a USB stick, doesn't matter what size it is, doesn't have to be a large one. This is a 2 gig one, but it doesn't need anywhere near that amount of space, so stick that in. And then you want to format that. So you want to format that to FAT32. So just file system is FAT. I think yeah, FAT32 I think is the correct one. Format that. So it will erase everything that's on it, so that's fine. And then once that's complete, format complete. So the next thing you need to do is go to the Blue&Me website and download the updater file that goes onto the USB stick. Now, Blue&Me website uses Flash, and as modern browsers don't support Flash, I've got it here open on, what's it called, the new one, Microsoft Edge browser. It doesn't matter whether you use Firescape, Opera, any of those, no, it won't work on any of them because none of them support Flash anymore, and the whole interface, which looks like that, works on Flash, so it won't work. So what you have to do, if you go to the Blue&Me site and copy that, and then go to Google. I'm not going to do this, I'll just tell you what you've got to do because I've already done it. There's a browser called Maxtron Nitro, which I've downloaded already, and that has got Flash built into its coding. So you go to blueandme.net, so it's www.blueandme.net, and you'll get the interface, the common interface that we're used to. So you choose your car, which obviously in this case is a 500. You can do it for the Abarth as well, they are separate. I don't know why they're separate, because you think they're going to be the same. So it tells you what you have to do. So you put your USB stick in to the computer, you're previously formatted to FAT32, and then you click on Start Update. And then it tells you what you have to do. So at home, part 1, connect your USB memory stick, previously formatted to FAT32, to your computer, download the Blue&Me configurator zip file onto the computer, and then extract its contents onto the USB memory stick. And then in your car, once you've downloaded the Blue&Me configurator zip onto your home computer, extract its contents onto a USB stick, connect the stick to the USB socket in the car and follow the instructions. So we click on download the file, and we navigate to our USB drive, save it on there, which it's done, and we'll go to the USB drive, and then you'll see Blue&Me configurator, and it's already unzipped it by the looks of it. So you don't have to do anything with that. In fact, what I will do, I'm not sure you have to do this, but I'm going to take everything out of that folder and put it loose. Oh. Where are we? Copy that, go up a level, paste it in there. So that's in the base level of the USB drive. And now you take your USB drive out and you go to the car. So let's do that. Turn the ignition on the car. You don't have to start the engine. You don't have to start the engine. Just have the ignition on. You then plug in the USB stick into your USB socket. The light will flash if you've got a little red light on it to say that it's doing its thing. And then it will come up. There you go.
Update started.
Update started. It takes a few seconds.
Update completed.
Update completed.
Please remove the USB memory.
So take your USB stick out, switch off the ignition, and then we go back indoors, back to the computer from the car with the USB stick. So we've done the update on the car, which has downloaded a file onto that USB, which identifies what update it needs. So then you need to upload that file to the Blue&Me site, which is, if you click on upload file, it'll go to the directory, which is the main directory on the USB drive, and it's that bmconf file. So you click on open, and then it tells you which update you need to download. In this case, it's download 10. So I've clicked on that. What I'm going to do is, rather than putting it back on to the USB stick, I'm going to put it on the desktop. So that has now created a folder on the desktop of that update. So then I'm going to come out of the browser and show you minimize this browser. Then I'll just drag it out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reformat. I'm not sure whether this is necessary to do this, but I think it saves any confusion as to when you put the USB stick in, because if you leave the initial updater file on there, the car will think, or could think, that you're trying to download that file again and do that rather than the update. So if we go back to the USB drive and reformat it again, so right click on format, select FAT32, start. Okay, let it do that. Format complete. And then what we'll do is we will copy that off the desktop, go to our USB drive, which is now empty, paste it into there. So that's now copied into there. It's only 32K, so it's tiny. And then we don't need that anymore. Then we take the USB drive out and go back to the car. So we're back at the car again with our USB stick, which has now got the relevant version 10 updater for this system on it. And it's all automatic. So again, you turn the ignition back on. It's not Sunday the 1st of January, which just came up on there. It's because I had the battery disconnected yesterday and I haven't reset it. So again, we go back down to USB slot, we plug that in, and then in a few seconds, it will start doing the update.
Update started.
And then this can take a few seconds.
Update completed.
It's done it already.
Please remove the USB memory.
There we go. It's done it. So that is it. So we are now on version 10 of the update. That's all we needed to do. Whilst you're doing this update, when you were at the stage where you were downloading to your USB stick the bit that you've downloaded the configurator onto the USB stick, you've gone to your car, you've come back, you've uploaded that file, and you're at the screen where it says download your update. If you scroll back up to the top, next to car model here, it says bouht generation, and it tells you there, second generation or first generation. That's the easiest way to find out which generation your bouht is, if you're going to replace it. But obviously you need to be able to, this part of the update needs to work for you to be able to do that. So yeah, hopefully that will prove useful.